that a lot of Israel in particular is happy that Trump won. Well, this is what CNN had to say regarding that topic after the election yesterday.
This very powerful ad, the Republican Jewish Coalition, that was all over the airwaves. Yeah. A bunch of women sitting around, Jewish women, just saying, I can't stand him, but I felt like we were supporting Israel and we were stronger and we were tougher. And I think that resonates with people.
And then to your point, the ad that came out that was beating Kamala up around fear about Israel not being protected. There was never a response from the campaign on that, which I thought was a big mistake. Amanda Berman from Zioness had to raise money running her own ads trying to fight back alone. That didn't work. So, but listen, you tied her to the economy, you tied her to Biden, you tied her to weird, and it was not a good
I agree with everything you're saying. I just didn't want to engage in the autopsy before we've called the race.
Keep in mind that this is happening before Trump officially won. So you can imagine that it was pretty, it was quite the funeral, to say the least, in that room.
You think that they're really upset? I don't think.
I think the only thing that they're ever upset about is whether or not it is going to affect their bottom line. That is the only thing.
And it doesn't for these people.
Well, not yet. As long as the neo-libs continue to buy into this BS, are they going to continue to watch these shows for reaffirmation? And the one message, Jen, which I'm sure you've noticed that has been going around quite consistently across the neoliberal corporate media board, is this message that Harris ran a perfect campaign. She just didn't win.
There was $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
Billion with a B. Billion with a B.
Because Trump, I believe, was at like 380 million or whatever it was, which, by the way, is also off the wall.
I know, but it's kind of amazing when you think.
So she outspent him by more than 3 times and still lost.
It's all of the but according to her puppet master Hillary, it's all the deplorables' fault. I mean, that's the only reason. These damn meddling kids.
Joe came out and referred to his people as garbage. And so then what I ended up seeing were a bunch of people wearing garbage bags. Unfortunately for Kamala, a lot of them were Southern Black people wearing garbage bags and going to the polls to vote for Trump.
And so here you have this autopsy that they're trying to perform literally as Trump is about to cross 270 electoral votes. And they're suggesting that the reason she didn't win is because she wasn't pro-Israel enough. You weren't pro-Israel enough. Trump basically backed her into a corner the entire race. Saying,
which is why he didn't have to spend as much.
Exactly. You're totally not pro-Israel. You don't like the Jews, etc. And they went with it. Every time.
Yeah. He's been pushing them to the right since 2015. Like, and this has been and easily.
And again, Trump is he is nowhere near far right the way people make him out to be. But
he's not anything.
He knows how to win. He knows exactly what to say. And you know who he wouldn't have known what to say against, Jen? He wouldn't have known what to say against Bernie Sanders. Because if Bernie was there and he was saying, this guy is a total commie, he's a leftist, like, well, let me tell you something, Mr. Trump. I will have you know that if you think that a living wage and universal health care and a jobs program is what makes me a commie, you could call me whatever you want. The American people will say that our ideas are better than yours. And that's it.
Well, we would have been, when we would have finished, this would have been the finishing of Bernie's second term now.
Oh,
that was the world I was trying to create, but
that's the world we were both trying to create. We did.
I know. And then I told people.
And now it is completely over. Now this is not only Trump's party, but he has a very sizable share of the working class in his coalition now. Yeah. Congratulations. You really did a number on yourselves.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing them flip back over, like from the old way when it was Democrats and Republicans. It's almost like how that part in Florida near like Jupiter where where 95 and the turnpike crossover. It's like that, right? The parties are now switching, but the Democrats are imploding. They have nowhere to go. And
listen, we're going to finish out this video, but we're going to get to that in a second. So let's finish this.
Before she dropped out. But, one thing on that, the answer on I can't think of anything offhand about where she would differ with Biden, was disastrous, and there's no doubt about it. The question is what motivated it, and whether she just felt she did not want to.
Loyalty.
Yes,
Basic
loyalty. And so she should have just said, "Look, I'm grateful to him. I'm proud of many of the things we did together, and I'm not going to critique him. I'm talking about the future." Would have been a better answer, but it's easy to be on the sidelines.
Oh, it sure is. As long as
no, it isn't. It's been brutal. It's been brutal. I'm so glad that we don't have to see any more of it. It's just so ridiculous how much money and effort is wasted, and the amount of mailers and texts. And somebody please develop an app that we can have on our phones that when somebody sends us a solicitation text, they will get an electrocution. Like they'll get zapped, kind of like my dog's bark collar. Like they get like that.
Teresa, thank you so much. Really,
thank you so much, Teresa.
Really means a lot. But that tone deafness, Jen, it knows no bounds, and that's the thing about corporate media, because they talk about the martyrdom of the college campuses and the fear and being uncomfortable. So let's play this other clip from our good friend Case Study QB, because this again.
Which one is this? Because I've seen some crybabies.
So I believe this is addressing the college campuses and the fear that the students have about being pestered about Israel.
Protests on college campuses. Women in the suburbs are horrified when they see Jewish kids getting bullied and getting intimidated by these protesters who are then defended by elitist academics who are supposed to be the people rearing them up and looking out for them. That scares people. That feels like a shift that goes so far out of the mainstream of where the country wants to be. And I think that's one of the areas that the room was just misread by Democrats.
Do you want to know what I would like to happen? I would like for just frigging once, when somebody makes that ridiculous talking point, for somebody to ask for the evidence. I have yet heard firsthand account of somebody who felt harassed and unsafe. It is always people like her saying Jewish students feeling unsafe. You know what? That I've yet to hear one until I see video evidence or I'm able to cross-examine a witness. I reject that entire thing. So I don't even know what they're talking about.
Well, you've also said, and I agree, that you have said that people that live in these very privileged echo chambers will not survive this world.
No.
Because the idea that you can make that statement, and it's easy for Alyssa Farah, and again, what a surprise, Alyssa Farah, a person who worked in the first Trump administration. Man, if you didn't know any better, you would think that MSNBC and CNN were doing everything in their power to become as right-wing as humanly possible, which they already are. You have Nicole Wallace as a main anchor, and then you have, let me tell you, I
don't know who these people are. You know that. Like you name names. Like I have no idea who these people are.
Well, Nicole Wallace is actually somebody who worked in the Bush-Cheney administration. But we have often said, if we are doing an autopsy on this election and saying, where was it lost? There were many places that were lost. But where I think that it was completely lost in the sense that they were going to get destroyed was when she wrapped her arms around Dick and Liz Cheney.
I think you know what, though? I don't know. I mean, I think there was definitely, if it were the movie version, that would have been like the turning point moment. But I think that, and I said this from the beginning, she was going to go down every single time she opened her mouth, every single time she appeared in public, every single time somebody posted new information about her, she was going to lose. I knew she was going to lose bigly. I did predict it would be a landslide. I also predicted that Trump was going to win the popular vote as well as the Electoral College.
You did.
And I knew. And here's the thing, people, and I am so bad at math, but it's math, people. It's friggin' math. And I don't understand how other people didn't see this or are acting like they're surprised.